The greatest opportunity for any real estate agent is to be able to give perspective and insight. Let's have a quick look at this. Let's say, for example, that you were out there and in 2019 in December, you went and bought a residential property for $1 million. And as you're there and you're working with the agent in that December period, you said, you know what? I'm going to buy this property for $1 million, and I know that the property is going to be worth $1.3 million by the time we get to the middle of 2022. Now, if that was the case, we would have probably all gone out and literally bought 5 properties straight away, knowing that literally we would have picked up over $300,000 in a capital gain. All of a sudden, what actually happens though is that by July 2021, we get you to come out as the real estate agent. I bought the property for the $1 million at the end of 2019, and now all of a sudden that property is worth $1.4 million. I feel like incredibly elated with that $400,000 capital gain that I've made. Then all of a sudden, I get to the middle of 2022 and I make the decision to go and sell the home. But now all of a sudden, when I go to sell the home, I'm actually in a position that you're actually telling me that the property is only going to sell for $1.3 million. Like, how could I have lost $100,000? Now, this is one of the great challenges, is what people are looking at, is they're looking at the reference point being the date of the most recent appraisal or even the date of the listing, as opposed to what was the date that the buyer actually purchased the property and what did they actually pay for the home. Now, if you paid $1 million for the property and you're selling it in the middle of 22 for $1.3 million, you've made a 30% gain. That's a $300,000 increase. And so this is about actually changing people's perspective by giving them an insight that it's not about the point of listing, it's not about the point of the market appraisal, it's actually at the point of when you actually purchase the property. That's the most important thing. Now, why is this such an important conversation? One of the challenges is that every single one of your consumers right now is stuck at the traffic lights. Red light, we can't make the decision to move. Orange light, we might be able to make the decision to move. Green, we can definitely make the decision to move. So the red light is like, you know what, if I was only going to get $1 million, I wouldn't sell. At maybe 1.1, then literally I might be able to sell at an orange light, or at 1.2 million, it's a green light, I could definitely sell. But they're working out that number, thinking that that's the number they could sell for, based on what they anticipate that they're actually going to go and spend. Now, they actually haven't negotiated on the one they want to buy, and they haven't realized that the prices there have actually come back just as much. And the interesting conversation is that now the changeover costs are the least that they've ever actually been. Now, this is such an important quality conversation because the reality of it is that maybe they actually can sell for $1,150,000 as opposed to the 1.2, because the one they're going to go and buy has actually come back more than literally their properties come back in the $1.2 million range. And this is about understanding a really important conversation. Amateurs deal in prices. They deal in the purchase price and they deal in the sale price. Professionals deal in the changeover costs. What is actually the changeover cost for the consumer when they're buying up? Because what you're actually going to find is that those changeover costs have actually reduced when a market goes through a declining market stage. It's critical as a real estate agent that you always have great perspective and that you have the great insights that allow people to make quality decisions. You get that done more often, you'll put more deals together. And that's what great agents do.